Christmas in the Pines is not necessarily the film I was expecting, but I did really enjoy this, and one thing I particularly liked about it is that it was quite unpredictable. Towards the end, I kind of realized where it was heading, but for the most part, I wasn't too sure. This was released this year, 2021, directed by Gary Wheeler, written by Natasha Barron, and stars Jillian Murray as our protagonist Ariel, and Dean Geyer or Geyer as Mark. We do have a classic single male, single female, not getting off to the best of starts. But then as the film progresses, one or two realise that they have feelings for each other. Will they realise this and admit it by the end of the film, or will they be forever destined to be apart and for be with their soulmate? I'm not going to tell you what happens, but that aspect of it is pretty predictable and comfortably so. It's what you expect from this kind of film. There were no kind of awkward surprises, so that's something that I really liked. The narrative, once it got underway, I thought was pretty good. But to begin with, I kind of felt like the behaviour was a little bit odd. So basically, both Ariel and Mark put in an offer for this house, this cottage, and due to some error, both of the offers are accepted. But the old man who sold them the cottage and signed the deeds can't remember whose offer he accepted first. So apparently under American law it's 9/10 possession, so whichever of the two leave the house first forfeit it to the other person. So they both have a stake in almost, and both decide that they're going to stay in that house until the other person leaves. Not the easiest when the water's turned off and there's no toilet roll. It sounds like a nightmare situation. But both of their families also come on board, and while they refuse to leave the property, they all get ready for Christmas. Christmas is, I think it was about 4 days away at the beginning. And obviously the families spend time together, they begin to bond. Ariel and Mark also spend time with each other, though not without its problems. And I really liked it. I enjoyed it a lot. The only thing I didn't like is that Ariel is not a good writer. This bugs me so much, and I'm a writer, so this is something that is going to annoy me, but I'm aware that I'm nitpicking. But she's trying to write an article, and at one point we get to see the writing on the screen that she's doing, and the writing, the grammar, it's horrific. I'm like, how have you got a job as a professional journalist when you write like that? Little things like that annoy me because it makes me not believe in the way the character has been developed and written, because then the character's written personality is as poor as the writing on the screen. Really minor issue that has nothing to do with my enjoyment of the film, but as a writer, it's just something that I see time and time again, and I wish they'd put in a little bit more effort and make the writers good writers. Aside from that, very festive film. I love the family coming together. I really don't have any issues with it at all. There is one thing that I found unusual. Not a problem, but maybe underplayed. And that's, well, as you can see, I guess, from the poster artwork, if you're looking at the same marketing material I am, there is somebody who plays the role of Santa Claus in this, and he's not really in it that much. So there is this element of Christmas magic in the air. You can ignore it if you want, it really doesn't need it. It could have worked completely on its own, and I feel like they were trying to shoehorn the Christmas magic aspect in, and they didn't do it enough to make it relevant. In fact, it felt so out of place because it was just kind of bookended the film, which I think is a bit of a shame because it could have been a bit more prominent and a bit more interesting, but it doesn't need it. It did not need that. It's just irrelevant and doesn't really develop the narrative. But aside from those few things that really annoyed me, Christmas in the Pines, although not quite the film I was expecting based on the descriptions, yeah, no, I thoroughly enjoyed it. If you're looking for a festive film that's not 100% predictable, definitely give Christmas in the Pines a go.